45 years, 0 name changes, new offices, more staff, improved technology to better serve you. Education, services, investments. Think real estate, think Marshall Reddick. Brokerage, property management, private lending, creating financial independence through real estate since 1979.
Good evening, Marshall Reddick investors, all of you returning and new clients. It's so great to see you tonight. So excited that you could join us for our presentation on the new Braunfels, Texas market. We're going to hear a lot of great info, a lot of details about the area, and of course, we're going to look at some properties as well. So we're going to get right into it. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Please let me know if your audio is good, and want to make sure that you guys get all the details. My name is Kristen Tabar. I have been an advisor with Marshall Reddick for 9 years this year. I've been investing with the company all of that time. My husband and I actually started investing with Marshall Reddick Real Estate prior to my coming onto the team. So one of the most important things I think for me is that as an advisor, I do actually practice what I preach. So I get to share my experience and my knowledge with all of my clients and all of you on tonight's webinar. So again, as we go along, if you have any questions, please feel free to type those in the box. I'll try to get to them as we go through the presentation or at the end, or we will make sure to reach out to everyone on an individual basis afterwards to make sure we get everything answered. I have experience with the company in purchasing, selling, and building 1 to 4 unit properties across our Marshall Reddick markets. And I've also been able to invest in our mortgage fund as well. So again, if you have any questions about anything that Marshall Reddick offers, any services, I've likely participated and I'm happy to share that experience. Topics we'll cover today, and as an attendee, what are some key notes for you all as well? So I'm going to talk about services Marshall Reddick offers. We're going to talk about different markets. We're going to really zone in on New Braunfels. I'm really happy to have one of our experts on the area and one of my favorite agents in the Texas office, Stephanie Caravantes, joining us tonight. You guys will hear from her as well. So again, write down links, write down notes, write down questions, and we're happy to try to get to everything either on tonight's presentation or as a follow-up call or email to everyone individually. If you are returning to Marshall Reddick Real Estate and you've worked with us before or you've attended some of our events, this is all going to be a refresher for you. But if you're new to Marshall Reddick Real Estate, we really are a one-stop shop for our clients. We are a full-service real estate brokerage. We offer services to purchase and sell both primary and investment properties. We are a property manager, so if you are looking at investments and you're looking to purchase rental real estate, we will help our clients to manage that as well. And that gives us the opportunity to really take care of our clients for the life of their investment. We are a private money lender, so for those folks out there who are looking at investing with a self-directed IRA, or you're looking at any kind of construction loans, we offer that for our borrowers. Also, we offer the opportunity for you to be the lender and actually hold the note on those properties as well. And then, of course, there's the Marshall Reddick Investment Fund. So we offer the full gamut, and our clients can be as hands-on or hands-off as they like to be. In addition to us offering these services, we also work with third-party teams and vendors, everyone from insurance providers, lenders, lawyers, you name it. We have someone in our Rolodex that can help our clients. So whatever your need is, we can help you get all the info and details that you need. We offer free consultations. As I mentioned, I'm a real estate advisor, and my role in the company is to work with my clients on a basis of really learning the who, what, where, when, why, how of everyone's individual investment goals and strategy to come up with a plan to help you achieve what you want to achieve through your real estate investment. So we'll talk about what your goals are, how you're looking to accomplish those, a timeline, dollar amounts that are comfortable for you. And in the end, we connect you with all of your team players, if you will. So that's your agent, property managers in your designated market, building inspectors, your lender, you name it. As I mentioned before, we really pride ourselves on being a one-stop shop for our clients. And we've done all the research for you. We've put together the team, so that saves you guys time and energy when you're ready to really sit down and start focusing on what your investment strategy looks like and how we're going to accomplish it. We have offices across the nation, and these are Marshall Reddick brick and mortar offices. So in all of these cities, all of these tabs that you see on your screen, you'll be working with the Marshall Reddick team. That's a Marshall Reddick agent, that's Marshall Reddick property management, and that means that we get, as I mentioned earlier, to really help our clients for the life of their investment. From the moment you're looking into a market and we're talking with the agent, through that transaction, through management, and everything in between. So we're really happy to be able to offer our services in all of these different areas. Tonight specifically, we get to focus on New Braunfels, and we're really happy to dive in and really get to the meat and potatoes and all the fun stuff that you guys want to hear tonight. What makes a good market to invest in? These 7 qualities are really what Marshall Reddick Real Estate as a whole is going to look at in each market that we evaluate to determine whether or not it's a place that we want to encourage our investors to purchase inventory. So I won't read all of these to you, but definitely, as you are working on your investment strategy and you're considering which market looks good for you, you can know that these are some of the 7 points that we've looked at to determine what makes a good market. And we're going to get into all of these points as they relate to New Braunfels as we get deeper into the presentation. Now, everyone's personal investment criteria is going to look a little different. That's one of the reasons I love doing my consultations with all of my clients, is to really learn what they're looking for, what type of investment they're looking to make, and what's important to them in terms of what that looks like. So there's a lot of different criteria when it comes to properties, and including but not even limited to what you see on your screen. So tonight we're going to showcase some inventory in the New Braunfels area, and we're going to look at some different property types. We're going to look at talk about what different property classes mean, condition, and then we'll talk about different property details as well. And these are all going to be a little different. They're going to pull in different types of tenants, and they're going to be a different type of investment. So we'll talk a little bit about what each of those things look like. And then for those of you out there who are considering another purchase or your first purchase, these are some of the criteria questions that you'll be asked on your consultation. Is the type of property you might be looking for, how much you want to spend, are you looking for something brand new, or are you looking for something you want to put work into, etc. So all of those things are going to be taken into consideration by me, your advisor, or if you're working with another advisor on our team, and they're going to be considered by your agent as well when they start to show us inventory for purchase. These are our teams across the nation. Now, you guys saw the tabs across the map. Obviously, this isn't every single team from every single office. Some of them are combinations. So your top left is going to be New Braunfels and San Antonio. So a couple of these have been combined for photo's sake, but you can see we have quite an extensive team across all of our markets. And all of our agents work with property management, work with our lenders, and we all work together as a well-oiled machine to ensure that at the end of the day, our clients get the best care from everybody at the same time. So I am, again, really excited to be presenting tonight with Miss Stephanie Caravantes. She and I have been working together. We have several clients that we've worked with, and myself and my clients just love working with her. She's so very responsive. She's really on top of everything, dates and timelines. And She's an excellent resource, an excellent agent. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Kristen, and thank you everyone for joining tonight's webinar. Our goal is for you to leave with a little bit more knowledge about New Braunfels City, how fast it is growing, and of course the investment opportunities that we have down here. I'm Stephanie Caravantes. I am from Mexico City originally, but I moved to San Antonio. It's going to be 11 years ago, so time flies super fast because I already feel like I'm a San Antonian, or I'm like a Texan. I've been an agent since 2019, but I've been with Marshall Reddick for already 5 years. And I actually started with the property management team. I did a little bit of everything within property management. I was a tenant coordinator. I was a maintenance coordinator dealing with contractors, tenants, orders. So I dove down, like really had a dive into property management, and that helped me to realize the needs of investors as well as the needs of tenants. I am bilingual, of course. I'm fluent in Spanish and English. I have a bachelor's degree in international business from Mexico. And once that I switched from property management to the sales side, I focused on doing leasing. Doing leasing helped me to know the difference between San Antonio or New Braunfels or Austin Metro. That helped me a lot to pinpoint what good areas or good neighborhoods are for investment, what good neighborhoods have higher rental prices, higher return on investment, and it was like a very good way to learn the market. I transitioned fully into sales about 2 years ago, or 1.5 years ago, and I have held with Christine and other advisors over 50 clients to either purchase their first investment property, to their primary home, or their fifth property in their portfolio. So I've been very blessed to help all these clients, and I know that there's a few clients of mine that are on the webinar, so thank you for joining. And let's dive into New Braunfels, that we are all here for this. So New Braunfels, went a little bit over. New Braunfels, we call it the little giant, which is not so little anymore, because as I'm sure you know, it has grown tremendously within the last few years. And just so you have a little bit of history facts about New Braunfels, it was founded by German immigrants, and it's named after Braunfels, which is a little town in Germany. So you will see a lot of the German heritage. It's very well alive. We have a lot of local events, a lot of restaurants, a lot of architecture, and that makes it a very charming town. It's very attractive for tourism, and obviously for people that want to live within a more serene and feeling like they're outside of the city but still super close to all the shopping centers, like employment opportunities and retail. That is one of the reasons why New Braunfels has been booming within the last few years. Another key factor about New Braunfels is its location. It is centrally located between San Antonio and Austin, which is they meet by I-35 highway. This highway is very important because it takes you all the way down to the border with Mexico, and it takes you all the way up to the border with Canada. So it gives it the fact that it's centrally located, plus that this highway is connecting so many towns. It gives great mobility for people that live in New Braunfels, but they commute to San Antonio for work, or they commute to Austin for work. I mean, my husband is one of them. He goes to Austin like every other day because of work, and we have a lot of residents that have been choosing New Braunfels again because the charm, because it feels like a little town, and of course the affordability versus cities like Austin. So New Braunfels, it's not a little giant anymore. It's more like a giant and a key player in Central Texas. And just to dig a little bit more into why New Braunfels is a great place for an investment, not only for living, it's, I mean, as I was mentioning, it's the location. There is a lot of growth within this I-35 corridor. So we see a lot of companies already moving from Austin, which is the real estate market in Austin is still a little bit expensive. So we see a lot of like startups or like younger companies moving to south, closer to New Braunfels and to New Braunfels itself, because land is cheaper, because commercial rents are cheaper. So the more companies that we have out here, the better employment opportunities for its residents. Another key factor why New Braunfels, I also mentioned that New Braunfels is very touristic. We have a lot of nature out here. We have Canyon Lake, which is where I'm living currently. We have the Guadalupe River, which you will see during summertime. It is crazy to see all these people floating the river, coming from San Antonio, Austin, or even like Houston or Dallas just to float the river. That's an experience that every Texan, they have to go through, or like newcomers excited to float the river. So besides that, we have water parks, we have like state parks. So it's New Braunfels is a town where you can do a lot of outdoor activities. Versus
and don't forget about Worst Fest.
Oh, Worst Fest, yes, it's about to end, but Worst Fest is a one in a lifetime experience. There's a lot of German food, a lot of beer, of course, and we actually have the Renaissance Festival now. So again, a lot of German culture going here, which is very attractive for people and for visitors. I now that I'm part of New Braunfels, and now I'm like, oh, there's a lot of people out here, a lot of traffic, but it's super charming.
My husband and I had the opportunity to visit a couple years ago, and we did all the New Braunfels things. We did Worst Fest. It's for all of you who don't know what Worst Fest is, it's an Oktoberfest in New Braunfels. As Stephanie mentioned, there's a huge German influence on the town, and downtown looks very European. Worst Fest is really fun, and there's so many people moving there and, you know, relocating, as she mentioned, from some of the bigger cities, because it does feel quaint without being in the middle of nowhere. So it's a very, very interesting little area. That's again, not so little any longer.
I've been living here for less than a year, and I love it. I really can tell like the quality of life is very different versus San Antonio, where it feels like very like city fast pace, traffic. And out here, I mean, it is very developed already, and you're gonna find the traffic, and you sometimes can be in I-35 and have like longer than usual commutes, but then you get to your home to this like very quaint neighborhoods, and you feel very peaceful. So I'm gonna give prompts to New Braunfels versus San Antonio in that sense. And obviously, like I was mentioning, because of the proximity to San Antonio and Austin, there's a lot of employment opportunities, not only in New Braunfels itself, which there's major employers like the city of New Braunfels as one of the major employers, the school districts here, which are like top-notch school districts. But the booming in Austin with tech, it's definitely trickling down to New Braunfels, and the booming in San Antonio with the military and with the medical facilities that are servicing the military members or like civilians, it's also booming to or trickling down to New Braunfels. So there's the local employment in New Braunfels, but you also are close to these major cities where there's so many diverse employers and diverse industries where you can easily commute to either or. And again, that's one of the key factors why New Braunfels is like growing so rapidly. Another reason why New Braunfels is obviously the population growth. During COVID times, we had a lot of people moving to New Braunfels, Austin. As we know, home prices were like through the roof, and it was a very challenging time frame for buyers. It was great for sellers, but for buyers that were trying to get into something, and they had to submit an offer over asking. So it was very challenging back then. Right now, the benefit that you have, or what you have to your advantage, is that you have still the population growth. There's a lot of people still moving from California or from other places. I mean, just like as an example, I'm like on my Facebook groups, Canyon Lake, New Braunfels, and every single week I see at least one or two people posting, hey, I'm moving to New Braunfels area. What neighborhood do you recommend? What school district do you recommend? So that's like a perfect example that we are still growing even after COVID times. But the benefit right now is that we are on a buyer's market. So you can get into a very great market, developing market with the leverage of like lower price points. Right now, we can find new construction anywhere from like $220,000 with high incentives, with high seller concessions. There's a lot of inventory between pre-owned and new construction. So with pre-owned homes, we have been seeing that the pre-owned homes that they have been staying on the market for a little bit longer. So as a buyer, you have the leverage to negotiate at like a lower sales price or seller concession. So you have tons of options right now between pre-owned and new construction with incentives. Rental rates, they did soften a little bit this year, like in any other market, because of inflation and like a slight recession. But again, you're getting into this market at like very low cost. And another reason why New Braunfels, it is very safe. It is a tight-knit community, even though we are like very large in population, but you still see people like taking care of each other. Like my neighbors are always telling me, hey, we saw like a truck that we don't recognize by your house. Everyone is trying to keep safe everyone. So like small town vibes, everyone is like telling each other what's going on, but with the benefit that it's a larger city. So I feel very safe here versus, I don't know, like South San Antonio, which is an area that Christine and I, whenever we go into these consults, we're like, San Antonio is a great market, but let's stay away from South San Antonio for now. So it's definitely a different lifestyle here in New Braunfels. And the next chart is a graph that this is available on our ebook and our website. And this is showing you the appreciation trend since 1989, I believe. And the reason why I wanted to show you this is because you will see that New Braunfels market, Central Texas as like overall, but New Braunfels market specifically has been growing year over year. We do have these like small dips like 2008 where like across the market we have like very like bad situations with real estate. So that's when you're going to see dip. And then 2023, again, it was a very hard market. It was inflation, a lot of people staying within like very strict budgets, a lot of buyers and renters that they didn't have the flexibility to like pull the trigger and buy a home or move into a bigger house, renting a bigger house. So people definitely had a tighter budget and they had to make sacrifices in 2023. And you will see there was a small dip on 2023. But again, if you see year over year, New Braunfels market has been growing, and there's not great times in real estate market, but then there's great times in real estate market. And I think that New Braunfels is a key player on those good times.
And I do want to point out really quickly as well, Stephanie did mention a couple of years where you will see a slight dip, but you'll see in the graph as well, those slight dips were under 4%, in one case under 1%. So where there are some markets across the country that looked more like a roller coaster ride at Six Flags Magic Mountain, New Braunfels, Texas has remained very steady Eddie. And over the course of time, even with those small dips, the overall growth has been positive. And from 2010 to 2022, that growth increased year over year over year. So our investors who invested in New Braunfels in 2010, 2015, even within the last few years, before 2020, their properties have increased in value, pretty significantly from where they were purchased. So year over year, it's very consistent and very steady in this market.
Well, going to employment opportunities in New Braunfels, like I mentioned, there is the growth in Austin and San Antonio definitely are trickling down to New Braunfels. However, New Braunfels has big employers. And what I like is like it's government employers. So that means safety for employees, that means good benefits, good salary, and that they pretty much have secured the longevity on that specific company. There is tech companies like Cisco, New Braunfels ISD, again, the school districts are a major employer. So you will see diversity within New Braunfels itself. Of course, I know that we're going to grow and there's going to be even more diversity within the next 3 years. But you will see that there's key players in regards to employment here. There's, of course, a lot of military members moving here to New Braunfels because it's very family oriented. It's very peaceful lifestyle. So the commute to San Antonio is only 25 to 40 minutes with traffic, and the commute to Austin is about 50 to an hour and a half, depending on traffic too. And there's a lot of development in regards infrastructure. If you go to San Antonio, they're building an overpass that is going to connect all the way to Austin, which means less traffic, more mobility, and of course, more residents wanting to be in this Central Texas area. And I wanted to share a few new projects that are coming up in New Braunfels. I am very excited about these ones as a local. I'm like super excited. New Braunfels downtown is already really charming, but there's areas that have been maybe like left behind, or there were like huge buildings that back in the day they used to be factories of something. And this is an example. The River Mill project, this building used to be a textile factory and it was abandoned for a lot of years. Right now the city is trying to revamp a lot of areas. It's trying to expand the charm of New Braunfels downtown, and this project is going to do exactly that. They're putting up to $1 billion to, like, again, revamp this factory, turn it into a multifamily with mixed use development. That means retail, again, apartments, and more like a walkable downtown. If you have ever been in downtown San Antonio at the Pearl, this is very comparable to the Pearl. So a lot of like businesses, coffee shops, boutiques, apartments, hotels, high-end hotels. This is what they want to do to New Braunfels, keeping the charm, of course, of like the German town. So I'm very excited about that one. I drive every day through there, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for them to start on this. There's a lot of like huge developments that are coming up in New Braunfels, and this huge developments, I mean, there's builders, a mix of builders like Lennar, Century Homes, KB Homes that are like kind of like teaming up together, and they're doing master developments. But these master developments are going to have like, or they already like doing crazy amenities. They're doing like big pools with like lazy rivers. So if you go to those communities, you are out of breath, because you never imagine that in a little town like New Braunfels, you're gonna find communities with this huge like walking trails, fishing ponds. So this is one of the projects that is going on, and this is not the only one. This is Mayfair. They're Mendy right now, which it's already first phase. They're completing first phase and they're going into next phase. But the point of all these big developments going up is because although we have been into this more like soft and real estate market, there's still a lot of people moving down here. So they see still the need for building houses, for more housing units, for new residents, newcomers. And the next one is a project that there's different projects like this one. If you have the chance to go into the City of New Braunfels website, it's going to show you all the projects going on, but there's a lot of this like smaller projects that they want to revamp the outside of downtown New Braunfels. So downtown New Braunfels is really charming, but maybe the outer parts is like a little bit more like not as like quaint. So the city is trying to revamp those areas. They're trying to do more like bike-friendly lanes, more walkable spaces. So it's a whole cohesive area with downtown New Braunfels. And of course, that attracts more people, new residents, and tourism. And like Kristen mentioned before, we want to show you like real and current investment opportunities in New Braunfels. I want to show you a little bit of everything: a pre-owned property, a new construction one, multifamily. So you can see the difference. There's a lot of inventory, like I mentioned. So with the surplus of inventory, there's going to be the opportunity of having offers accepted below asking price. This is something that is going on since, I will say, since the end of summer. There's a lot of opportunities for builders to review your offers, give you incentives, and as well as pre-owned. Like sellers are hurting a little bit because there's not only the new construction going up, but there's a lot of pre-owned inventory. So this is a great time for you to get into an investment single family home, either pre-owned or new construction, at a great price and with great incentives. The first one is a pre-owned home in New Braunfels. This is located in a community called Avery Park. Avery Park is a coveted community. They are one of these like older established neighborhoods, but they do have their elementary school on site, the middle school on site. So technically you can walk, your kids can walk back and forth to school. It is only probably like six minutes away from I-35 highway, so easy access. And you don't see, I remember probably like a year and a half ago, I didn't see a lot of opportunities in this community itself. And the ones that were popping up, they were close to $290,000 or even like above $300,000. So again, the market has changed and it's like a very strong buyer's market. And I was like looking into properties for a client, and I like came across with this one, which is like your square footage is great for a rental home. It's not, it's built in 2008, so you have an older home, but still where the systems are not going to be so outdated, that are going to be needing replacement sometime soon. So those major structures are still probably holding very good. And if not, again, we're in a buyer's market. So I have had sellers like replacing roofs or like upgrading the HVAC. It just depends on how days on market the home has been on, which this property has been on the market for 130 days, I believe, if I remember correctly. And from the time that I was looking at this one last week to yesterday that I wanted to add it for this webinar, and actually came down in price like $10,000. So that tells you a lot about like, this is a strong buyer's market. For something like this, just because of the interest rates right now, you're looking at more like breaking even. But what I tell to my clients right now, we are going to fight for like your seller concessions, which is 2% max for investors. With that 2% seller concession, we can go to the lender and do a rate buy down. You can apply that towards a rate buy down, which that will make your monthly income a little bit better. But this is just an example of that you are at least breaking even with something like this. Obviously, there's other options. There may be sellers. I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure that this seller, because he has been on the market or she has been on the market for quite a while, you can also negotiate the sales price. So you can turn around and get like go with this house at $200,000, your seller concession, and that will make the numbers even better. The next one is new construction. New construction right now, it's offering great incentives for primary and investors. This is one of the builders that it's being very aggressive. Like all builders are different in regards to concessions. Some of them, they offer you like a dollar amount on concessions. I'll give you $15,000 plus fridge, appliances, everything, sprinkler system. And some builders are buying the rate down for you. Like this is an example of the builder that is buying the rate down as low as 5.5 for investors. And of course, that's going to be a great incentive and is going to reflect on your monthly income. So for this specific house, like it is great square footage, is like 1,900 square feet. The list price is 264, 264. And because of the incentive, the rate buy down, you're looking at your monthly income, you're cash flowing at $200, somewhere around that. But not only they have the incentive, but they will pay for your title policy. Some builders are a little bit more strict with reviewing offers. So I know this builder is a little bit, because they're putting the rate buy down, they might not get to a lower sales price, but they pay your title off, your title policy. They give you the 2% seller concession, and yeah, those are great incentives, like to begin with. So again, every builder is different. You will find the builders that will review your offer. They will give you, again, seller concessions, appliances. It just depends on the builder, the community, how much inventory they have, and so forth.
Stephanie, we have an audience question from Aubrey. Lots of new housing developments are planned. Does this put a damper on future rent increases? Since we're talking about increasing the rent on the previous property and potentially this one too, what are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a lot right now, specifically there's inventory. So it's a little bit tricky to say or to predict your rent is going to increase $200 the next year. The good thing here about Central Texas is that we don't have a limitation of rent increases. So we go with the market. We or your leasing agents will do a market analysis, and on our consultation was that we send you options for you. We will do a real rental analysis for you and go with current rents. Now, yeah, you're completely right, Aubrey. There's going to be more inventory in the future, but also, again, the population growth, it's new residents moving in, more families, younger couples moving from Austin market, which is still very expensive rental-wise, to New Braunfels, to be still close, but more affordable market. So the population growth is going to help to fill this inventory, builder inventory houses. And we only don't have investors. We have primary home buyers. So a neighborhood is not going to be 100% investment owned. You have a good mix between primary homeowners and investors. So again, it's a little bit hard to predict where we're going to be on rental increases for the next 2 years, but New Braunfels is a very strong market. If compared with Austin, Austin is very expensive, and right now the rental rates they took a little bit of a bigger hit versus New Braunfels, because New Braunfels is not that big. We don't have that much inventory, and it's still affordable for people. I hope that answered your question, Aubrey. If not, we can get into a consultation. And the next one is a multifamily example. In New Braunfels, there's a lot of single family homes. Multifamily is still a little bit scarce. I'm sorry, I went a little bit too far. Multifamily is still a little bit scarce, but like price point, again, if you compare to San Antonio or to Austin, it's definitely going to be a little bit more affordable. And one thing that I haven't mentioned about New Braunfels is the tax rate. The tax rate is one of the benefits of New Braunfels as well. You can find areas in New Braunfels with a tax rate of 1.4, 1.6, versus if you go to San Antonio, your average tax rate is going to be around 1.9 to 2.2. Even a little bit higher than that can be depending on the neighborhood. And if you go to Austin tax rates are definitely higher. Like you can find from like 2.2, I think is the minimum, and then some tax rates are like 2.6. I know that if you compare it with California market or other markets, definitely Central Texas or Texas overall has a higher tax rate, but we don't have state taxes, or we even had last year we had a surplus on taxes, which they're putting that money into infrastructure. They're putting that money into school districts. So definitely the tax rate helps to create more development to the city. So going back to the multifamily option, this is a bill that is also offering very aggressive incentives for investors. They have a rate at 3.75. It's a 10-6 arm, but obviously that rate is fixed for 10 years, which is very, very safe. There's builders that they will do 3-2 arm, which that is very risky because you only have 3 years of a fixed rate, and then after that you don't know what's going to be. With this type of financing, you're in a very safe spot where either you refinance before this 10 years, or at the 10-year mark you're already looking for the exit strategy. And not only have they have that option, they are very creative, and they have, maybe if you want to go with a conventional loan, they have a 4.5 interest rate for a 30-year fixed rate. Again, right now interest rates are still a little bit high, so having or being on a market where you can see these incentives of rate buy downs, it's great, because that and taxes is what it's going to make your property to either cash flow or not. And as we can see on that example, because of that incentive, your property is cash flowing very well per month. This community is also very close to I-35. It is a multifamily community. You have amenities, there's employment nearby. It's more kind of like hill country feeling, but still within proximity with retail and shopping centers. And I wanted to add a bonus property as well. This is not in New Braunfels, but is it's going towards Austin. Let me see. Okay, perfect. So this is Emma Park community, which is located in Buda. And I just wanted to throw this one in here because, again, great incentives. You're still within that very busy and growing area of New Braunfels, between New Braunfels and Austin. Buda is another town, smaller than New Braunfels, not as developed as New Braunfels, but it's also growing very, very fast because it's just 25 minutes drive to downtown Austin, very close to Tesla, very close to Google, very close to the international airport. And also I wanted to add it because the closer that you get to Austin, the more expensive or higher your price points that you can see. This one is a very similar single story multi or duplex, and the other one was at $545,000, and this one is almost $620,000. Of course, your rents are going to be a little bit higher because you're closer to Austin, and with the incentives, you're still looking at very good cash flow. But the closer that you get to Austin, the more expensive it's going to be, and that's why a lot of people are choosing New Braunfels to rent, to buy, to live in, because of the affordability with the mobility to either San Antonio or Austin. But again, this is another great option that if your budget is around the $600,000, the builder is reviewing offers. They have also a great rate buy down program. and you're looking at positive cash flow, which is very difficult right now because of the interest rates. And just to let you know a little bit about what happens after closing, what happens after we have gone through the consultation, we have gone through we're under contract, we're closed. What is the life cycle of property management? Property management, and I'm talking for, I think, for Kristen and myself, we both own investment properties. Property management can either make or break your investment. So it is very, very crucial to have a great property management team with the right tools, with the right systems. I remember back in 2018 when I started with the 2019, I'm sorry, when I started with the company, we were a very, very small office with like 5 people, and we experienced growth very, very fast, but we were like one step ahead. We're already preparing for being able to take care of our clients. We added more team members, and we're still adding more team members as we grow as a company. Again, we were one office in San Antonio. Now we have in Central Texas alone, we have Austin office, New Braunfels office, San Antonio office, with each office has 3 teams at least. So it's been mind-blowing to see the growth and to see how fast we are trying to stay ahead, because we want to better service our clients. So we have the teams, we have the system and the software. I have my investor portal or my owner portal, and I go in there, I see, okay, rent paid, great, and then I get my check. Or if, knocking on wood, my tenants have not placed any work orders since they move in, but if they were to place a work order, you can see on your owner portal what the work order it is. That the team already tried to troubleshoot that, and it didn't work out, we're sending a third-party vendor. And that's another key factor, that having a relationship with these vendors, not in-house maintenance, because that, like other property management companies, they have in-house maintenance, and it's like definitely a conflict to have in-house maintenance. So we prefer to leave that business to professionals that are insured, that are doing a great job. So we have all these 3 third-party vendors that are part of our like tool in our team, because they're very responsive. They obviously try to work with we have like not to exceed $200. If you think that that's going to be more than that, call me. And they're very like communicative. I remember when I was in maintenance, I was like very, very rough on our vendors, but then we created those relationships and those expectations with those vendors, that they need to be very communicative and they need to make sure that the work is being done correctly. Another key factor, it is like you don't only have your property manager, you have the realtor that you close with, the advisor, Kristen, still like on the background, maybe not as involved, but if you have any questions, you can reach out to her or reach out to me, and we can help you still. I mean, we're here, we're never gonna go away. You're stuck with us.
And that's part of the benefit of our team working together, is that if you have a question, or if you're having any kind of issue, or you want to speak to anybody, you have those options. You have your leasing agent if your property is vacant, you have your property manager if you're going through any kind of maintenance, you have your maintenance coordinator, you have Stephanie, you have myself. So we really do work together as a team on behalf of our clients to ensure your success.
Exactly. And another key, so we have a lot of moving parts, and I think this is the great thing about Marshall Reddick. We have an amazing leasing team as well. So there's agents like me that we transition to sales, and that's our focus, because we want to make sure that we are focusing on our investors. And we have a leasing team that the only job is to lease your investments, and they know the market, they know tenants, they pre-screen tenants, they are up and down driving to South New Braunfels, North New Braunfels, because that's what they're focusing on. So we have a very strong leasing team that they are experienced at leasing. I believe we have a leasing agent, Jennifer Forga. She has leased this year alone over 250 properties this year alone. So we are very, very also mindful of making sure that we have a leasing team that is very strong and that is going to obviously strive to get you the higher rent as quickly as possible, right? But being like in a realistic realm of like, we want to be 30 days on the market, maybe during the holidays it's a little bit longer. Everyone is like busy with like holiday shopping, but we still strive to give you the least vacancy and to guide you, to give you recommendations, to show you what is out there, so you can also have a better picture of what is your competition and all that good stuff. Very, 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 we have a whole process about leasing too. And lastly, I mean, all these parts interconnect, and I think I personally, I know that I could manage my investment property because I was within, like, I was part of property management. I know how to I'm connected with vendors, so I could do it, but I choose to let Marshall Reddick, that has all this team, all these tools, to do it for me, because I know that I have peace of mind. I have peace of mind that my property is being taken care of, and then again, I can focus on my clients. So I think that that's the goal of a lot of investors, like out of sight, out of mind. I have my work with I have my expertise, I have my family, and I just want my investment to give me returns. And I think the next slide is a little bit like about the same, what Marshall Reddick, all the tools that we have, the systems, the team that it has been a lot of years on the work to build a strong team on each market and sub-market. So I just don't want to be repetitive, but yeah, again, I'm with Marshall Reddick for my investment property. I'm also on the mortgage fund. Like Kristen said, we're preaching what we teach. And I'll give it back to Kristen.
Thank you, Stephanie. So what you see in front of you is a market data packet for the market of New Braunfels and Seguin. We have a free market data packet for each one of our 16 markets. They get updated and reposted annually as new data is released from the National Association of Realtors. And these market data packets are chock full of everything you could possibly want to know about every area. It's going to offer data and information on top employers, on demographics, on income for its residents, on rental details, what people do there for fun, how many people visit annually, how many people move there annually, all kinds of data. And there's, for you visual learners out there, there's graphs and charts and all kinds of great information for you to take advantage of if you're looking to dive in a little deeper and looking for a little bit more information on any one of our 16 markets. Our property rating, Reddick property rating ebook is going to dive into how we arrive at the ratings for our properties on the website. So as Stephanie was going through the inventory tonight, you may have noticed a property rating, A class or B class. How we arrived at those class ratings is going to be completely divulged in the ebook. It's going to walk you through all of the methodology and also show you where you can find a lot of these details online. All of the information that we publish in our Reddick property rating ebook is found on National Association of Realtors and other websites that we as realtors use constantly in order to help our clients determine how to price properties. There are going to be details in the ebook on renovations, on value add, on all types of things. And then it's going to also walk you through how we calculate the vacancy and maintenance estimates based on the property class and what that information is based off of well. Right down to your potential tenant quality, the potential for turnover, etc. So for those of you who haven't taken a look at the ebook yet, I highly recommend you do so. It'll also give you some information and help a lot of clients to determine what their criteria is. I know for me as an advisor, it helps a lot of my clients to determine which property class is right for them, what type of property condition is right for them, etc. So it's a really useful tool, not only for those of you who are just getting started, but even for our seasoned investors who are maybe looking into a new market, maybe looking into a different property type. It's going to be a really great resource for information. In addition to the ebook, there's tons of videos, including this one you're watching now. This will be recorded and posted on our website. So videos, articles, guides, short things that our vendors have published. And again, we work with everyone from lenders to insurance agents to folks that help our clients set up their self-directed IRAs. So there's all kinds of useful tools and information, our property calculator, all of the appreciation data and historical data for each of our markets. You can find that all on the Learn tab under Education. In addition, there's FAQ, and you can request a complimentary consultation through the Learn tab as well. You can find our reviews. We are a young company, but also an old company. Dr. Marshall Reddick started the company back in 1979, and we've been under new management and new ownership since 2011 and then 2014 respectively. So we have a much different presence nowadays than we did. We have a great online presence, and we really encourage all of our clients to read those reviews and see what our customers across the nation are saying. As I mentioned, and as Stephanie mentioned, we have teams from California all the way down to Cape Coral, Florida. So if you're looking for, looking for a market, looking to find out what your journey may be like to work with us, we encourage you to read those reviews and see what other people's experience have been like. We are on all the social media platforms, so you can find us and connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Yelp, where you'll also be able to find many of our reviews and everything in between. In addition, on our website, you can connect with us. You can connect with me or your own advisor, with Stephanie, etc. So there's lots of different ways that you can connect with us, ask questions, set up consultations, and everything in between. Here's my contact information. Again, my name is Kristen Tabar. I've been an advisor with the company for 9 years, and I'm really excited to chat with everyone who was on our presentation tonight, get to know you guys and see how we might be able to help you with your own independent goals and, real estate, what you're looking to accomplish. We want to try to help you get there. So please, if you don't already have an advisor and you'd like to learn more about New Braunfels, learn more about Marshall Reddick Real Estate in general, dive deeper into our services, please take advantage of the complimentary consultation. We're here to help, and we want to help you achieve all of your goals. And hopefully we get to talk with everybody. I want to thank Stephanie Carvantes. It's my absolute pleasure to present with you tonight. And of course, I want to thank all of you who took the time out of your Tuesday to join us and learn about New Braunfels. We appreciate you guys, and we look forward to the opportunity to work together.
Thank you, Kristen, and thank you, everyone. Happy holidays and have a great rest of your day.
Happy holidays. Good night, everyone.